The third item needing consideration today is consider approving a resolution supporting legislation to amend C.R.S. 32102 to reclassify Mesa County as a Category 1A county for purpose of establishing the salaries of county officials. We do have Dan Rubinstein, our district attorney, here to present today. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning again, commissioners, and happy birthday, Commissioner Rowland. And thank you to Matt Lewis for providing an opportunity for somebody else to present today.
Finally.
Finally.
However, revised statutes do provide the classification of counties, and the statute 30-2-102 specifically provides the criteria for which the legislature should categorize each county, and also that it should be reviewed from time to time to determine if the counties are categorized correctly. In 2016, we were a Category 2 county, and we moved in 2016, beginning for January 1st, 2016, elected officials until present, we became a Category 1D county. We are the only 1D county. In fact, there are no 1B or 1C counties, and there's a fairly long list of 1A counties. It having been 10 years since we have reviewed this topic, and much in this valley having changed during those 10 years, I believe it is appropriate at this time to review them, and I am asking that the commissioners consider a resolution supporting legislation that would change us to a 1A category. As the top public safety official in Mesa County, I am responsible to prosecute all of the cases, whether they come from Fruita, Palisade, Grand Junction, or the county. And as such, I'm very familiar with the various services each of those agencies provide, various responsibilities each of those agencies have. Currently, our sheriff's salary as a result of the classification, which is what sets the salaries, is at 128,000, just under actually 129,000, as compared to the Grand Junction Police Chief, which is at 203,000. In looking at the various populations and other things that the statute suggests, there are some counties that are much smaller than Mesa County, which is around 160 to 165,000 in population, depending on which census you look at. But Routt County at 25,000 is a 1A county. Summit County at 30,000 is a 1A county. Eagle County at 55,000 is a 1A county. The Colorado county closest in size to Mesa County is Pueblo at 169,000 in population, also a 1A county. Finally, the others that we typically in criminal justice world look at in order to compare ourselves to are Pueblo, Boulder, Weld, and Larimer. And we are the only one of those that is not a 1A county. The statute directs the legislature to look at various things. It says such amendment shall be made only after giving due consideration to the variations among the counties, including the population, the number of persons residing in unincorporated areas, assessed valuation, motor vehicle registrations, building permits, and it lists off a list of others, but it focuses on those first as being very important, the population, which I've already discussed, and the number of persons residing in unincorporated areas. As this board knows very well, Mesa County is somewhat unique in the large size of urban areas that are outside a municipality. That has resulted in not only the sheriff providing municipal-like services, but also the commissioners having to provide municipal-like services, including the Clifton Community Center, parks, and other things that this board has spent considerable time doing that is usually taken up by city councils. We are very large geographically, which presents unique challenges for the sheriff to manage, including having to go out to very remote areas. Beyond public safety, there are all sorts of other issues. There are housing costs and property values that are much higher here than in some of the other counties listed as 1A counties. In looking at the department sizes, for example, our sheriff's department and the Department of Human Services are the two largest departments in the county. And because department head salaries are set by this board, they're set on market. The Department of Human Services director's current salary is $168,000. Had we been a 1A county when this sheriff was previously elected, his salary currently would be at $167,000. So within $1,000 of what this board has decided is appropriate for a department head running an agency of this size. Moving us to a 1A county would not get the sheriff up to where the police chief is. In fact, it would only get him about halfway there, but it's important if we're going to have qualified people who are running such a large agency with so much responsibility that we offer a salary that's going to attract the top best candidates. And again, as the top public safety official, I feel like it is my responsibility to ask this board to consider reclassifying us so that our elected officials are paid what a market would pay because of this unique situation where it's set by legislation. I have asked Representative Soper to carry that legislation, and part of his process is to ask that the Board of County Commissioners hold a public hearing for public comment to see if anybody in the public disagrees that we are way out of market on what these salaries should be. And my request is that you allow public comment and consider the resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rubinstein. Commissioners, do you have any comments during this time?
Not yet.
Is there anyone in the public that has public comment during this time? Okay. Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for discussion.
Just for clarity, Dan, this does not affect your salary. You're not up here publicly advocating for an increase in your salary.
No, first of all, it wouldn't affect my salary because I will be termed out of office before this would take effect, but I am not a county elected official. I'm a state elected official, so this has absolutely nothing to do with my salary.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that.
Thank you.
Second of all, this affects sheriff, survey, clerk, treasurer, coroner, and it does affect future commissioners. It does not affect anybody who is currently in office. So us voting on this today will not affect our salaries.
I can be more specific about that. Commissioner Rowland, of course, will not be in office when this would take effect because this legislation would be passed, if it does pass, at some point during 2025 and go into effect January of 2026 for elected officials. It would also not affect your salary, Commissioner Davis, because you are term limited and would not be in office during any of that time. It could affect Commissioner Daniels' salary if she runs again and wins.
Perfect. And I do think this, I wish we could separate commissioners from the rest of them because you've got the sheriff, surveyor, clerk, treasurer, who are technical experts in their field, and we need to pay them appropriately, but unfortunately we can't. So I didn't want to do this last year because I didn't want to affect my salary, but moving forward, I think we do need this so we get competent people running for these technical positions, like the surveyor. We have a wonderful and amazing surveyor right now who probably doesn't get paid enough. So it's for these technical positions that I think we need to do this, and I'm in full support of it.
I support everything Commissioner Davis said, and I think the evidence clearly shows that Mesa County fits in the 1A category, especially when you compare it to Routt County or Pueblo County. We do set department heads and all of our staff on market, and I think by putting Mesa County in 1A, it would position us to be better aligned with market level. So I support it.
Thank you. This is also something I support in theory. I wish that we could separate it, like Commissioner Davis said, between our commissioner salaries and our other elected officials. I will be sustaining from this vote because it would affect me, but we can carry forward through a motion today.
Okay.
So I will entertain a motion to approve the item as entered into the record.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 2-0.